So there's a lot of talk out there about attraction being this mysterious, impossible to read thing. But honestly, there are some very real, subtle signs that men just, well, miss.
Oh, they miss it all right. And it's not just missing. It's like they're blindfolded and someone's holding the sign right in front of them.
Exactly. And one of the biggest ones women use is eye contact. Obviously, not the quick random glance. I'm talking about the lingering look. That hold. That second too long kind of thing.
Yeah, and they'll do it, in a way that it's subtle. Like they don't want it to be too obvious, but it's obvious if you're paying attention. Problem is, most of us guys are not paying attention.
Right. There's that example in Attraction Secrets, where Olivia talks about this exact scenario. A guy walks into a coffee shop, scans the room, and boom, he locks eyes with a woman. She holds his gaze for like a split second longer, looks away, and then checks back. That, my friend, is no accident. Ooh.
Not at all. But you know what most guys think? Oh, she's just being polite. Like, no. Polite is holding a door open. This is her going, hey, notice me.
Spot on. And then you've got those other body language cues, like mirroring. If you lean on the bar and 10 seconds later, she does the same. That's not her copying your drink order. That's her subconsciously syncing with your energy.
Man, I saw this happen to a buddy of mine. Swear to God, he was sitting at this party, all shy, not saying much. This woman kept walking by, and every time he shifted or leaned back, she'd do the same thing. I told him, like, dude, she's into you. And you know what he said?
Oh, I gotta hear this.
Nah, she's just walking around. Like, come on, you walk around the same spot 30 times? Bro, she's orbiting you. That's basically a neon sign screaming, say something, dummy.
You know, it's funny, though. A lot of this comes down to perception. If guys assume they're not attractive, they'll miss the signs because they're not even looking for them. Almost like it's self-sabotage in a way.
It is. If you don't believe you're worth noticing, then why would anyone notice you? And when they do notice, you ignore it. Classic, but...
Hold up.
No, listen, it's more than just noticing. It's about amplifying it. Like Olivia says, once you know the signs, you got to own it. This ain't just about figuring it out. It's about walking into the room like you know you're the guy they're all looking at.
Definitely. It's about presence, right? But okay, let's stick with these cues for a moment. What about compliments? Women who are dialed in will throw compliments that go beyond just, you look nice.
Oh yeah, you hear stuff like, I don't know, there's just this vibe about you, or you're so easy to talk to. That's when you know, man.
That's when you know. All right. So once you start noticing those cues, like eye contact, mirroring, or those subtle compliments, you realize there's more to it than just the physical signs. This all ties back to something even deeper. Emotional presence, confidence, just being real with people.
Right, 'cause being good looking will get you in the door, sure. But if you're dull or insecure, people can sense that. It's like a vibe thing.
Exactly. And it's wild because a lot of men are so focused on what they see in the mirror that they miss the fact that their energy is what really draws people in. Like passion, confidence, that stuff's magnetic.
Yeah, but here's the twist. Confidence doesn't mean being cocky. You gotta have balance. Some guys think walking around like they're God's gift makes them attractive, but it's actually a turnoff. Nobody likes arrogance.
Right. Humility plays a role. But there's that fine line too. Because too much humility can come across as like insecurity. You know? Like you're undercutting yourself before anyone else can.
Oh, for sure. Like, oh, I'm not good enough for that job. Or, oh, no way she'd be into me. Man, shut that down. You're hearing their insecurity talk first and not their confidence. And that's the problem.
Right. And studies back this up. You know, when you own your passions, when you speak with confidence, people automatically start paying attention. It's that halo effect we touched on earlier. Makes you stand out in ways looks alone can't.
Yeah, and I think like it comes down to self-perception too. If you keep telling yourself, I'm not enough, why would anyone else see you differently?
Exactly. There's this guy I knew back in uni. He was super self-conscious about his looks. Thought he was like this boring dude. But you get him talking about music and man, it was like he lit up. And people, women especially, were drawn to him.
See, I love that. And they weren't there for his looks. They wanted his light, his passion, the way he owned what he loved. That energy is attractive as hell.
Totally. So, confidence isn't just about how you walk into a room. It's how you engage, what you bring to the table emotionally that makes people think, yeah, this guy's someone I want to be around.
Exactly. And it's got to be authentic too. Ain't nobody buying that fake swagger, man. People want real, the guy who knows himself, flaws and all, and still says, yep, this is me.
And honestly, once you own that, it's almost like your physical appearance becomes secondary. People are just drawn to you.
Yeah, it's like what Olivia said, right? When you feel confident, it shows in everything. How you talk, how you stand, how you handle a room. That's the real magic.
So, it's clear now. Confidence really is that magic ingredient, right? It's how you carry yourself, how you engage others, how you just own the room. But here's something interesting we haven't really hit on yet. How respect and competition factor into this, especially among men.
Oh yeah, this is where things get interesting. You ever notice how guys size each other up the moment someone new steps into the room? It's not just about the women in the room, man. It's like this unspoken game of dominance.
Right. And it goes one of two ways. Either they show respect, listening to what you say, even leaning on your opinion, or they try to, challenge you, maybe by one-upping everything you do, or just redirecting attention away from you.
Exactly. And most times the guys who are being competitive aren't winning anything. They're just showing their insecurity. I had this debate with some buddies of mine a while ago about, what people call alpha behavior. Like, is it just being the loudest and the pushiest in the room?
Let me guess. They all had different definitions.
Oh, completely. One guy swore it's about being tough and leading with intimidation. And I'm sitting there thinking, nah, the real alphas are the ones who don't even need to shout about it. They're secure in who they are. People respect them because there's like this calm confidence about them.
Yeah, that's such a good point. There's this psychological aspect too, where guys like that exude what researchers call a secure attachment style. They're balanced. They feel good about themselves and others, so they're not constantly trying to prove something.
And you feel it, man. It's this energy that said, I know who I am, I'm good with it. And if you don't like it, well, that's cool too.
Exactly. And it's not just men who pick up on that. It affects their overall desirability. Women notice. People notice. It creates this high status dynamic where people are just drawn to you. Not because you're trying to be the focus, but because you naturally command attention.
That's the secret right there. It's not force. You're not walking into spots like, hey, everybody look at me. You're just living your truth, being mindful of how you treat others, but you're not twisting yourself into something you're not.
It's a balance, isn't it? That mix of self-concern, knowing your value, not settling for less, and concern for others, treating people right. That's what really sets you apart in groups, whether it's respect or even competition.
Yeah, and I think the takeaway here is that attention and respect, whether it's from men or women, it's earned by how you carry yourself. If you're coming from a place of authenticity, everything else just falls into place.
Perfectly said. So, for all the guys listening, it's not about trying to prove yourself to anyone. It's about knowing your worth, being confident in who you are, and letting that speak for itself. Respect follows naturally.
And competition, man, you don't need to play games. As long as you're focused on your own path, it's not a competition. It's just you being you.
Exactly. And I think that's a really powerful note to end on. Recognize the signs, own them, and find that balance. And hey, keep working on yourself. There's always room to grow.
That's the truth. All right, y'all. That's it for today. Stay real, work on your confidence, and we'll catch you next time.
Take care, and as always, thanks for listening.